I'm guessing it's the same guy.
In this bridge that was not on that ship,
The battle bot
aside from
is
Naval
an AI
Command,
that will just transfer
you
to
are to
another
exit
or
at this
chassis.
time.
Or
I will
chassis.
give you a moment to do
You want me to
so.
leave as well, or you want me to
Were
stay?
you on the ship?
I was here watching with
Go.
Dad.
You can. You're here. You're good.
Okay.
I assume this is everybody present. Wonderful. I know I need no introduction, so we'll skip the formality. Get right in. Because I am not a... We are not unfamiliar to the threat of the Sovereign if you've been around as long as some of us have. Now with the Sovereign and their very clear and decisive actions, the UNSC, its allies, for whatever naive conquest
Excuse me. What the fuck is
to
going
put
on?
themselves at.
Pause button.
Stuff.
I will
I-
say this.
Sound muted.
This is, for the time being, until we get further confirmation, assumed to be on a need-to-know basis. Is there anyone within this room who is unfamiliar term Prelate? We all know what that is. Does anybody require just a little bit of insight? The Prelates, right, are unlike anything that we... Crude mimicry to, for say the least, get us to our knees, essentially. Think of them like our Spartans. They're just different to a T. Genetically modified Shinchayim sent out to just wreak on anything, and they are good at what they do. How many of you came into contact with one? You can consider yourself very, very lucky. Fortunate, even. I've read reports that even our Spartan 3s were out fighting prelates. They were, in a lack of better words, demolished. Now, the Sovereign have, if you have not noticed, employed any and all tactics at their disposal to win, to dominate the field, and to complete their crude objectives. Now, if we are to assume there were many prelates on there, if each individual present interacted with at least two, for reference, prelates during the first interaction with the Sovereign were 1 in a million. Reports indicate from the first interaction that Resurrection had there were at least 2 at most at one given time, and even the second interaction there were none. So the fact that we are facing up to, what, 6, 8 on a derelict is unfathomable. We thought, if my memory serves correctly, at least, the Shinchayum were all but extinct. Not many present. Not since the Human Covenant War, as I'm sure most of you are familiar with. regardless. The fact that there were that many is, to say the least, frightening. I'm not a man to admit fear. I'm not a man to admit when I am afraid of a situation, as I am trained not to. But two, in one room, in one area, is unheard of. Now, this black box you recovered from that cruiser, the data is old, and I am currently making efforts as we speak to read through its data so that I can get some semblance of an idea of what happened. They won't use plasma weapons. As I said before, they're genetically modified. They're strong, Spartan. Almost comparable to your predecessors. Without the fancy suit of armor. Minor modifications, granted, but they're strong. They've been known to wipe out, hell, platoons worth of our people, and now they're pointing targets on all of our backs. This is unsat, as you can see, but I don't hardly ever show any sign of fear. This ship's lockdown, I should say, is under my order. And here's what's going to happen moving forward. And I would like this to be relayed, and I'll relay it to the rest of High Command so that they can relay it down further. As I'm sure, for a lack of better words, my words coming from anything won't mean much, but coming from each and every one of you in here, it may mean a semblance. Key areas are to be locked down. The bridge, only HICOM members in naval operations, and any authorized person under the naval branch are authorized to enter. Anybody else is to be arrested. Key points, server rooms, data rooms, anything that we have on this ship locked down. As a matter of fact, data will be wiped and sent to a backup server, because in the event, as close as they got to this ship, and they get on here and we're not so lucky the next time, they can get that data and they can put an even bigger target on the rest of us. We are that first line of defense, and it starts with us. It will be backed up to a different server. Navigational data needs to be wiped every 2 hours. FleetCom may send us every other which way, but I assure you, after every operation, it will be wiped. Communication signals will be coordinated by the Office of Naval Intelligence. It will be wiped, scrambled, and triple encrypted every hour. In the event that they come closer, or they get more bold, God forbid, I get captured. Jed get captured. The Supreme Commander get captured. We're all operating off of the same frequency. Everything is. For the most part. But it will be wiped. Every hour. And I will see to that personally. Call signs will be more enforced throughout the force. Each and every one of you will refer to each other by call sign. No more FleetCom in the radio. No more Alfarius. No more Jed in the radio. I'm fairly certain a document was pushed out by my superior. If not, then it will be re-pushed out to all of you. Accidents happen. I'm not going to put anybody on the butcher's table for a slip-up, but we need to have total operational security. In the event that something is to board this ship, artificial intelligence, if not attached directly into somebody's suit, say for example mine or the Spartans to my left, they will be locked down. God forbid AIs get any semblance of they get captured. I'll push that out to the appropriate channels as well. But again, I hate to be a broken record and ramble on, because I understand, given the situation, it was a bit frightening, and you would be a liar if you said you were not scared. However, we will be that first line for everybody. Because God forbid we lose that fight. If you were ever wondering about the why we're here, this is it. This is our why. This is why we're doing it. I'll push it out to HighCom and the appropriate channels to take the appropriate security measures. Are there any questions for me? As soon as I get what's on this black box, I assure you the appropriate channels will be notified. You fought well. I'll give you that. It is rare to see somebody come out of that situation alive, or at the very most, scathed. I'm going to ask a couple questions. Lieutenant Jed, was the navigational data wiped recently? Everything that I was mentioned in our communications that was taken, those measures? I understand, and I'll say this, I understand that in the past, many of us have had our differences one way. But in a time like this, in times like the ones we are facing, those differences need to be water under the bridge. We need total cohesion. If anything is to be brought up to me, now would be the time to do it.
What's this about? I'm CL5. I am the Lieutenant Commander of the entirety of Naval. If you don't know who I am, but I was about to say.
If it is in private and you have nothing else, you are free to leave. Only personnel ensure that my data drives are backed up to the phone, and that every communication and frequency is triple encrypted. Dismissed. That means you.